It's Kris Lee. Welcome to LeeToledo. It's been a while. My apologies, but we've been a little busy, so I haven't been able to make a video recently. But I'm so glad you are joining us today because I want to talk about EB2-NIW, but more practical points and not so much the technical details, because we've just been getting a lot of questions about the EB2-NIW, but more, not necessarily technical details, but more of general questions regarding what is an EB2-NIW, okay? So let's start with that. An EB2-NIW is a self-petition. It is a visa, but it's a visa that once your I-140 is approved, it can lead to a green card, okay? And the green card can be attained via adjustment of status or through an interview at the consulate in your home country. I think that's important to understand because sometimes people confuse that it's a visa, oh, but I get a green card out of it. And you get a green card because this is an immigration visa that results in a green card versus other visas you may get, such as tourist or student visas. That's what it is. You're able to enter the country on that visa, but it does not give you permanent residence, okay? So hopefully that clarifies what is EB2-NIW, okay? And the other thing that I think is very important is for people to realize who can apply. I think when you think EB2-NIW, you're always reminded that this is somebody of an exceptional ability, and therefore that equates to some kind of professional occupation. And immediately people start thinking doctors, lawyers, engineers. But I think what people need to understand is that the United States government does not want to just approve engineers, doctors, and lawyers, especially lawyers, okay? But that's me just joking, okay? What you have to understand is that the United States government is really looking for a variety of skill sets that will serve the national importance, okay? National importance can be evaluated in a number of ways, okay? And I want to stress that because it really goes to how your attorney will advocate when submitting your EB2-NIW petition. And I want to stress that because LeeToledo has been very successful in getting unusual occupations approved, such as lifeguards, such as personal trainers, people who may not have a formal education, but nevertheless have exceptional ability because they have been doing the line of work they do, and it meets national importance. So people need to understand that you don't necessarily need to be a doctor, lawyer, or engineer to qualify and be approved on an EB2-NIW. It really goes to the strength of your exceptional ability and how it impacts national importance. And the reason that I am focusing on national importance is that you need national importance to be part of your proposed endeavor, but national importance is also critical in order to get the NIW portion, which is a national interest waiver. So as a result of the fact that you need a proposed endeavor that has substantial merit and national importance, and you need national importance in order to get a waiver of the labor certificate and job offer, every EB2-NIW really hinges on how do you prove your case regarding national importance. And at LeeToledo, we're very intentional with your strategy and with the proposed endeavor relative to national importance. Okay, and so hopefully learning and understanding that EB2-NIW does not pertain only to professionals with a graduate degree or with a PhD or somebody who's a professional, will really make those other people who have been in your craft for, a couple decades and you're very successful at it, and you have this exceptional ability in the craft that you do, think about it and reach out to us so that we can see whether you qualify and also what kind of candidate you can be relative to the national importance of the United States. Great. And what are the requirements? So the requirements for the EB2-NIW is consisting of 3 prongs. The first prong is the proposed endeavor having substantial merit and national importance. The second prong that you have to show is that based on the success of what you have done in the past, that you are likely to advance your proposed endeavor. The third prong is that your proposed endeavor and your exceptional ability is so critical and urgently needed in the United States that the United States must waive the requirement of a labor certificate. You hear these things and I'm sure you're thinking, how do I go about doing this? How do I go about proving this 3-prong test? And that's why you need a legal professional who can guide you to substantiate what it is you need to prove, how do you validate that, and how do you prove that with documentation. That gets me to another concern that many clients have. I don't have documentation to prove this. They're listening to the words that I'm saying and immediately they're scared because they're thinking about all the years that they have been doing what they do best and thinking, how do I document that? I don't have documents that show all these things. Well, you may, and you may not even know you have it, okay? And I say that because when you speak with a professional who has been doing EB2-NIWs for a long time, they can tell you these are the kinds of documents you need. And the intent of what those documents are supposed to represent is crucial to substantiating the requirements of the EB2-NIW. So you may say, well, I don't have that document. Well, we would work with you to say, okay, do you have this document? Do you have that document? Other documents that can substantiate what it is that we're trying to prove and document for USCIS. And so don't be scared that in your documentation you may not have the things that in your mind think substantiate the requirements of the EB2-NIW. I think it's really important that if you believe in what you do, you believe in what you can contribute in the United States, then reach out to a legal professional and say, can I have an interview? Can I have a consultation? This is what I've been doing. I've been very successful at it, and this is what I would like to do in the US. And I don't think I have the documentation, but what is it I need to do to substantiate my exceptional ability? And I think once you embark on that mission to obtain information so that you can be informed to make the right decision, you're going to realize that, wow, I didn't think I could qualify, and then you're going to find out that you do. And at the end of preparing an EB2-NIW petition, you should feel and know exactly what you're submitting to USCIS and have an incredible feeling that this is such a strong petition that you have to be approved. That's the other item that I think every client should know, which is that you should know what you're submitting, okay? I've had many clients who have reached out to me who were denied, and when I asked them, well, let's talk about what was submitted, and they either say, I don't know what was submitted, the consulting company never shared what they submitted for me, I don't know, and imagine this is about your dreams being fulfilled in the United States, and for you to not know what documentations were presented representing you. That's a travesty. And that is something that you don't want to be facing. You should know exactly what your petition consists of and what documentation you submitted to substantiate your exceptional ability. There is no guarantee that your EB2-NIW will be approved. So when you hear that a company has a 99% approval rating, how do you determine that, right? because when you think about it, unless it's 100%, it really doesn't mean anything. What do I mean? I mean, if it's 99% and you're in the 1%, it's still a denial, right? And you don't know it when you submit whether you will be in the 99% or the 1%. And so I share this with you for you to understand that the approval rating that companies may use to advertise their services is meaningless. And what then is important? Well, what I said to you earlier, which is your collaboration with your attorney, with the attorney staff to document your exceptional ability so that you know, based on what was submitted, how strong is this petition, right? That is what should allow you to have confidence in what was submitted. That is what should give you strength to wait and know that you did the best that could be done with what you do, how you're going to do it, and what you will contribute in the United States. And I think it's really important that people realize that, because at the end of the day, when you hear 99% approval rating, it's a sales pitch that really is meaningless to you and what you're going to submit to the USCIS. So understand it for what it is and be involved with your petition and find out, get information. You can only make an informed decision with being informed. So I hope that if you are interested in the EB2-NIW, please contact our office so I can meet with you and make a determination. Do you qualify? Are you eligible? And we can go from there. And then you can think about the documentation you need. So understand what the EB2-NIW means for you and your family, and contact LeeToledo. I hope to hear from you, and until next time, have a great day. Bye-bye.